Good morning. Yeah, it's fallen far out. When I woke up, I was like, I'm not it's going to be a tricky one to navigate with this. We've got news in the middle, 8:30, Swiss news. It's really, man, it's tanked. I guess in the monthly levels. So that's only another like 50 pips away. And then we'll have to see what it does when it gets into this structure. So, well, not with the news, the fundamentals. I think what's happened is it's given like a real firm reminder that this inflation battle is not over. So all that little optimism and stuff, this could be the bull rally, like that, the last bullish rally in the bear market. Well, it's not really a bear market, it's a bullish market officially. But this could have sucked a lot of people in. But we'll see. It's not unusual to pull back from making all-time highs. But I don't want to, with all this hiking, everyone's hiking. Every single one, except for yen. So they're going to hike 0.25%, which is monumental for these guys. They've had negative interest rate policy for such a long time. Yeah, all stop losses are swept. So I don't know what to do yet. I just need to watch price, see how it's going to react. Then we've got pound news later on as well at 12 o'clock. So these interest rate news days are annoying. So, morning, George.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Sarah. Wouldn't mind picking up the pieces after the pound news, but not going to touch anything beforehand. I had on Mbot, I had Aussie CAD gave me a win, which was a good one. Took it from the 50. Triggered. It triggered. Just. Now that I look at it, an MT4 might be a little bit different. Actually, it will be different because it gapped down. So it would have pulled that EMA down lower. So that gave a win already for the day. Oh, yours didn't trigger.
No, mine didn't trigger either.
Oh, mine did. Difference in the brokers. You were Pepperstone as well, George, weren't you? Mine triggered at 89516.
No, mine didn't trigger.
Oh, 8cap. Yeah, different brokers then. Because mine, you see how mine's been gapping down a lot? When I did the, when I've done the videos, all my Canadian pairs always gap down, and New Zealand pairs. So having price opening down more or less like here gave a slightly lower average price for this candle. So it would have pulled that EMA just ever so slightly down lower. It literally just triggered.
Was that from the 50, that one?
Yeah, I took it from the 50.
Yeah, so mine looks like mine touched the 50. It must have been the spread.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it were on the 40 or the 20, it would have been fine.
And then Euro yen is still going. Oops. But I'm probably going to.
Yeah, I'm in Euro yen.
So it's from the 20. So I'm only 8 pips in profit. Was 16. but I don't really want to play around with it with the news, but I was kind of tempted to leave it on. You know what? I'll just close some of it actually. Yeah, closed majority. So if it hits the stop loss now, it would be break even. I haven't moved stop loss. I'll leave the stop loss where it is. But anyway, gold has. We're gonna have to wait for NY for that one. You can see this just sort of ranging like it did the last bunch of NY London sessions. What I'm keen on.
Sorry, my concern on gold now is it going to want to come back and to that 1920 zone?
1920, yeah, fill this wick. That's what I was saying. As soon as this happens, this becomes a target now. Had a strong 100, 150, 170 pip reaction, and now it becomes a target.
Yeah.
So German man just drop. So that's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying that I woke up seeing that, but I kind of expected that we're just gonna. I didn't expect to get through here, this area, so easily. Wish I held those sells from higher. I even had those sells in yesterday that I ended up. They ended up closing at 16,080 ish. Now look at it. Dropped nearly another 200 after that. Anyway, okay,
You've got a gap on your chart on the DAX.
Do I?
No. Yeah, is it gap down on the 5 minute?
Just when? No, I've got no gaps.
From market open.
No.
No, okay, it must be my chart. Thank you.
But because this is, David entered German 40 sell a couple of hours in the Asian session, got stopped out because I didn't notice the horrible spread. Then missed it. Oh, yeah, the Asian session is always difficult for
Well, when I entered, it was about I think 6.4, but I didn't even notice.
Oh right.
And then I just got stopped out. And I just felt I was just in a bad mood and not feeling very great. And I just thought, I just don't know. So I just stayed out and then just watched it drop and drop and drop and drop.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I judged it right. I just got really shaken by just getting stopped out. I just gapped up and stopped me out within a second, and I just lost. You know.
Oh shoot.
It sort of demoralized me, and then I just couldn't stand by my my position, and just anyway.
Was it this candle?
I guess I consoled myself that I was still in a good trade.
Was it this candle that did it?
Yeah, it was just that was it. Yeah, just there. That just jumped up.
Where was your stop loss?
So well, it was right just there. Well, I look at my stop loss and it was above there, but it was the spread, I guess, took me out because it didn't raise as high as my stop loss. But
yeah. Okay.
And I can see the gap on the chart, and I was like, oh shit.
Right.
I think the stop loss was in the right place. If I hadn't suddenly noticed the spread was so poor. Anyway.
Well, we make these mistakes, and we remember them.
Well, as soon as I entered the trade, I was like, "What? Why am I so badly in drawdown?" And of course, it's been a long time since I've placed a trade in that time at that time period. So
no, it's one of those things.
It was just, all it took was that jump up, and I still looked at my stop loss, and I thought, oh, it's probably still pretty good, but then it just flicked upwards and took me out.
Yeah. It's one of those things that when you do it, now you become more conscious of the spread at that time. So take it as
ironically, the spread change went from 6 down to about 1.2 within about 4 minutes of me placing my trade.
Oh, really? Shoot!
It just completely changed. Yeah, it was just a silly thing.
Gosh,
that's right. But again, I think my psychology was I was just shaken. So I just thought, I don't know, have I done the wrong thing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I understand that. I did a trade the other day. No, not the other day. Like about, can't remember. It was like maybe 4 weeks now, 5 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. When I was trading on, it was gold, but I had my lot sizes from German 40 still, and I hadn't changed it, and gold was breaking out. I'm not comfortable with breakout, like proper breakout trades. But this was just after the news, and I entered the trade 10 times the size that I intended to on gold. And I just saw the numbers straight away. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And the spread was a little bit high because of the news. Not too crazy, like just like maybe like an extra pip and a half. But because the size was 10 times the size. And I was like, as soon as it sort of was jumping around just a little bit. And it was in tiny bit of profit. I had to close it. And then it just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. And it would have been by far the biggest trade I'd ever done because of the size, obviously. But I'd made a simple, it was a simple little mistake like that, but it shook me enough that I'm like, I can't enter anything right now. I just need to understand, why did I do that? How did I let that happen? And, but those little things.
Well, it was funny how just the fact that I didn't notice the spread and got shaken, it just completely shook my confidence in the entire trade, which was just weird. Like, there was still no reason why it was a bad trade. But my internal voice started saying, oh, maybe it's no good. You shouldn't have done that. Like, just don't trade, if you can't do it properly, sort of thing. And so then I didn't do anything.
Well, I'm going to have to tread carefully with this just because I'm not sure if the Swiss news is going to have much of. I actually don't know what kind of effect the Swiss news is going to have in here. It's just so unusual for Swiss to have their interest rates like they're such a steady country, and having this right in the middle. It's the way I see this is that we've already dropped an Asian session, and Asian session now is not as this doesn't have as high of a correlation as what gold does when it have a disconnected New York session. But I'm still seeing that I'm thinking the market is going to treat this Asian session as a gap, as an opportunity. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't really have much further downside either before we get to like 2 significant lines, like these monthly levels. And then we've got an order block underneath that. So I don't want to take buys, of course, but I am thinking that if price pushes down and we start to see some rejections, that I can see this gap being filled, this Asian session gap, and then going up and then trying to like find something in here potentially to then start to push down. So that's kind of my idea that I'm leaning into now. We're going to see in 7 minutes, of course, anyway. So this will tell us the story. But I'm seeing that this is unusual movement for Asian session. And I know that then when there's unusual movement in the Asian session, this is liquidity left over that could be picked up. So the last time we had something like that was over here. And this gap never ever got filled. But this was near all-time highs as well. So I kind of just thought, well, this is likely from an all-time high that we could just fall from here. But now we've fallen from there 600 points nearly. So this is where I'm thinking this is a bit different situation now. And other times we've seen these large Asian sessions, like here, Asian session, quite a strong Asian session. We've come back and we filled it. This Asian session was quite large, but it was only pushing up into like these areas as well. So this is where price had been left over. Hey Dan, hey man, how are you? These highs had been were over here. So like this London session connected with this other London session. So there's like recent history here. Another Asian session. I talked about this one, but came back, connected the sessions. Where's other examples of this? Few others. So actually, we have been seeing a little bit of movement in this Asian session, but with this news, apart from the monthly levels, can't see another look. Yeah, I've seen on the 4 hours. See this liquid order blocks. So we've got. Let's put some lines in. We've got this doji here, right here. Then we've got this order block. So let's put a box around it, around the body. And I'll just look at this on the lower time frame. So a little junction point, I'll put that in.
Starts here or there?
What was that?
Is the move starts here?
Yeah. Yeah. So once we close inside this box, I think we can have a decent run down to the bottom. And that's like 100 and... It's almost 100 pips exactly. So I like that. I like that idea. Let's check the one else. This is where the move started from. There's your little rejection, liquidity, doji, sweep, liquidity wick, and push. 30 minute, another little block inside of here. Triple wicks as well. 15 minute. Yeah, looks like it's clear traffic to keep going down. Just need, because we've already moved down so far already. Just need to be careful of the whipsaw. So we've got 3 minutes, 2 minutes 45 seconds.
But from a daily perspective, I mean, it still seems to be in a pretty strong daily zone of resistance from 5th June through 9 June. Sorry, support. Could you just see a big correction? I mean, it's had 3 very strong bearish daily candles, and now we're still, seems to me, we're still sort of in a daily area of support. Could we just see a big correction? I mean,
yeah, but this
unusual.
We could, but with interest rates going up, and news, there's other headlines coming from Germany about that their recession is going to be sharper than they expected.
Yeah,
as well. So this is why this move up actually did not make sense.
Yeah, right.
So now it's like it's actually starting.
So that was the correction, not the other way around.
Yeah, well, this maybe was the manipulation. So this is starting to make more sense now when the realization perhaps setting in that interest rates are going up, and maybe this is going to affect earnings in a lot of these businesses. The market's a sociopath, so it will do whatever it wants, with no remorse, no care. So this move up, I thought, was odd. Like, I found it difficult because I'm trying to actually think logically and rationally about the market. I can understand how we're pushing up. That I thought, well, maybe it has got a bit of room to go up because the Eurozone and the UK had a far more extended period of subdued growth from 2015, stemming from trade wars and Brexit. So, and then COVID, obviously. Not trade wars weren't really directly with the Eurozone, but they did have like the Portugal, Italy, Greece, Spain issues beforehand, like in the start of the decade, 2011, 10 or so, which kind of hampered growth a little bit because they were basically Greece defaulted. Then they had side effects with Trump's trade war with China. Then they had Brexit going on. Then they had COVID. Then they've had war. So they've had subdued growth. So I can see that maybe this is now a bit more optimism creeping in, where we maybe they're getting on top of inflation, Brexit's over, wars sort of just simmering away now. Here's the start now. So I can understand why it printed new highs, but I can't see why it's just going to continue making all-time highs. Here's the open. So let's see. Probably just going to do a 40 pip drop. 40 pip clean drop into these monthly levels. Then we'll see it play up a bit. So where's Frankfurt open? Frankfurt opens this candle here. So this is the range for Frankfurt. That's Frankfurt range. Okay, that's the doji on the 4-hour chart, the first doji, this thin line. let it regroup, then it can make a play for the monthly levels. We often see it retest the 50% of the Euro Open, the Frankfurt Open. So that would put it around 15,908. Could be a retest zone. That would be the structure here. See if it can just have the momentum to do wick fills. Here's a 4-hour chart on the bottom left. 15-minute on top left. Five-minute top right. 1 minute's bottom right. Okay, gap down a little bit. Let's see it take out these monthly levels. I'm going to be securing. I would be securing here for sure. Then we'll see fireworks in 28 minutes. So reminder about what that line is was this doji here on the 4-hour chart. $24 pips it dropped. What's gold doing? Gold's dropping as well. Aussie's having a stage in a recovery. Brendan, did you take Euro Aussie? You take these longs?
G'day, Hayden. You mean the sales?
No, for the Euro Aussie longs.
No. We discussed it. I missed it. I missed the entries.
We were talking about the longs though last night.
Yeah, they just didn't actually. It just didn't pull back into
enough.
a zone where I was comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Looking for a re-entry. hopefully later on,
Yeah.
hopefully the news doesn't affect it too much.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Secure here. When it hits this. Don't let this come back all the way. That was a decent push. Little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-minute trade. 7 minutes for 30 pips. Can probably squeeze another 10 out of it quite comfortably. There we go. For the sake of this though, with a news day like this, when I say secure, don't like close all. You don't need to close all unless this was just the easy part of the trade. They just want it to be done and dusted. We can get whipsaw from here now. Oh, you're against just about to hit target. Let me check. Yeah, hit target. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Still open. I suppose that's the good thing already about having two approaches. One that doesn't take any emotional baggage when you wake up and just see the result. Okay, first 10 minutes was almost in the bag. At the moment, if the volume's there and they've got trending structure, we should just keep on pushing down. These are little pullbacks. For this monthly levels, no joke. Especially after we've had that strong drop. This is liquidity that come back to get it. This pattern. Little rejection candle, price is going back up now. Oh, you got the buy. Look at you. I can't switch that easy. Oh, you shouldn't have said anything. Now it's coming back. So realizes, hey, what? Someone took that buy? my advice as well is look for like set your trade idea, trade your trade idea, and because other people are going to be looking for, like Sarah took the buy. Doesn't mean that everyone needs to do that at all. You know, just take the one that's in your plan, and then you just got to be happy with your plan. Win or lose, how did you execute on your plan? That's the main thing. Had to step away. Are we still waiting for a reaction from that 16? You mean 15,840? No, I'm not looking for a reaction here. I'm not looking for buys. I'm not. With the volume that was in the market and having like there was nothing here, it was easy for this to push down to here. But this is like after it gets to here, anything can happen. I'm not looking for anything specifically to look for buys. Perhaps like if price had, depending on what the price action is here, I'm more likely if it does hit this area, the lower end of what you said, 15,850. But the news for Swiss interest rates in 18 minutes, I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth the emotional damage potentially that can happen from an unknown event. I mean, I know it's all scheduled and everything, but I'd imagine that it's like, I can't see that being a bullish reaction. But if you wanted a easy 30 pip with volume in the market, 30 pips was from here to here. And with all this weight of price coming down, I need something stronger than even a 5-minute candle. Because we know how many times has price come down and pepper a zone before it moves away. So I definitely don't need to take first touch either. Unless like if we have like a flash crash, then I can jump in, because that's the only real time that I find these kind of V shapes can actually work, when I've got clean candles coming down and a quick move, because a quick move could be the false move. But more often than not, when price comes to a level, got way more time than we think we do. So we don't need to rush anything, especially news. Oh, there we go. Pop down. Another 10 pips. So far it is this 4-hour doji, held price a touch. First monthly level held just for a little bit. Gave a pullback, liquidity candle. Now it's hitting the second one. Now we're hitting this 4-hour structure. So I mean, it's like when this trade down to here to secure, not all, because this is trending. It could be trending structure. If you wanted to close full for 30 pips, that's okay, as long as that's your plan to close there. Around here, though, this is now over 1-to-1 from that euro range, the Frankfurt Open. So this not quite 1-to-1. Not quite 1-to-1, but that's a decent enough move for a news day. Until afterwards is fine, like to pick up the pieces after the news. Yeah, I think that's probably a better idea. So we're 15 minutes now. Hopefully we can just see some steady moves pre-news volume to keep on pushing. But these were the three levels that had been flagged. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say 4 levels. And we had little levels inside of here. But now we've sort of achieved a target, and that could be your day done. One trade, expected volume. Now I wouldn't be surprised if we can get maybe some whipsaw, news coming in, anything that can happen. We've left liquidity up here, or we're going to have a monster correction once the news is finished. Okay, so retesting this liquidity candle. I think I'm going to have to go get some popcorn. But really going to get a coffee. So I'll be back in 3 minutes. Chat amongst yourself, guys. I'll be back very soon.
Anyone in anything?
No, I'm not.
No, just gonna wait.
I'm still short on
Just
gold.
waiting.
You still shorted it?
Yeah,
Nice.
I just can't see it moving away without retesting those lows.
Yeah. I don't know though. I think they might push it up and then come down on news.
Yeah, more than
Start
likely.
buying. What time's fireworks?
I think it's about 10 minutes.
Okay. That the music that was just on, my dogs were barking at. I think I had birds tweeting. So I had to mute myself.
Alrighty. expecting that whole move. We'll see if we can achieve 1920 today, or even 1908. That'd be a big move in gold. But I think 1920 for a New York session. $662, huh? 662, you mean all the way down here? Wow, I hope so. I don't have clean traffic though. How do you get clean traffic all the way down there? What time is clean traffic? D1, yeah, okay. That's not clean. This here is not clean traffic though. Like this neckline. But 700? Yeah. Close inside here is a big one. Gosh. This has turned into a good move now. So 70 pips from the break. There's another little level that was flagged. This is a 2 hour candle opened and closed. And then this one down here is the 1 hour where it opened and closed. So we've got like little demand zones, these little lines. Trending structure at the moment. Come on, keep on dropping. Forget this top right chart is broken. I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but this red zone is let's get some phantom lines on this one, on this top right chart. The way I've drawn this would be a 30-minute zone, but I don't know from God knows when this was drawn. But for some reason this chart remembers everything. This one here is like an elephant. This is the elephant chart. Never forgets a thing. Or remove stuff on all the others. With this one, remembers. All right, if we get this 5-minute candle and close inside of here, then man, we've just gone to a whole new world. For German 40 to explore. Oh, look. Oh, no. You're good. Yeah, close inside. Gosh. 5 minutes until Swiss news. Let's see what it does. Who's holding? Has anyone got runner still going from the break? Very quiet in here. Come on, guys, talk.
Sorry, mate. I just ducked out to grab some dinner.
Oh, what are you having?
I just grabbed a coffee.
Oh yeah, good.
Carbonara.
Carbonara, mate. You cook that?
Yeah, mate.
Is it your specialty?
Oh, mate, we had a heap of bacon that was sitting in the fridge, which if I left it another couple of days, it probably would have had to get tossed.
Would have grown into it.
I'd rather cook it than throw it to the dog.
Yeah.
It would have walked out.
Yeah, it would have walked away.
Oh, mate, yeah. I would have probably thrown the fridge out with it.
So I just rejoined. Are we looking at going down through this order block zone down to?
Closing
15.
inside is a key factor.
Sorry.
Closing inside of it is a key factor
Yep.
for it to reach the bottom.
Yep.
Oh, you're trying to set up magic keys down.
Hayden, what time frame do you consider it's important that it closes inside it? Because, like, say for example, it's a 4-hour order block.
Yeah.
You accept that it's a 5-minute close, and that's enough.
Well, there's plenty of volume in here. Like for a 4-hour, probably like to see a 15-minute candle close inside of it, because the 15-minute could close and it could just be a wick inside of it. So it's a good question. I wouldn't trust a 1 minute, that's for sure. 5-minute is, I think, decent. 15 minutes better.
But it can come in, close inside, then it can move back out before it goes to the bottom, you say, sometimes?
Yeah, it can do a pullback, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pullbacks are normal, but once it closes inside, then to me that tells me that that level's broken, and then it can still pull back, but then once it's closed inside, the objective is then to reach the bottom. It's just how it gets down there. Is it sometimes we see it's just one quick move, other times there's a pullback and then a quick move.
Yeah. Pity there's news right now.
Oh, I know, that sucks. So that's why I was like, it's a shadow of itself, the former trade. Now we've hit that line. But it's a good move. Happy with it. I'm happy that it's not like we've seen the high impact US news and how price behaves before that. It's just shite, isn't it? It's just sits in a range. At least we've got to move before it. And I don't know if it's actually going to have much of an effect, but it's interest rate news, and that always needs to be taken seriously. So 20 seconds. Okay, here we go. Swiss news here. Hey Ivan, how are you, mate?
Gold's going up.
Gold is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just pumped 30 pips.
Yeah.
I know, so I wonder what effect that has with, because a lot of gold reserves are actually held in Switzerland.
And GU.
So what? I'm sure it's as expected. Yeah, rose quarter.
Oh, not again. My mortgage has gone up 5 times. Gee.
Mortgage.
Have you got time to do this today?
Mortgage.
You keep on going until you work this out, or have you got time to do this today? You're gonna keep on.
Where's your mortgage in Switzerland?
Oh, sorry. I thought it was it. Sorry, I thought it was GBP. Ignore me. Ignore me.
You've got a few more hours and then it's going to go up again.
Yeah, I thought it was GBP.
Well, that's later.
Yeah, I thought it was now. I was like, oh no, not again.
Yeah.
How many interest rates has the GB gone up?
10, I think.
Yeah.
10.
But they might put
Yeah.
it up. There's arguments now to go up 0.5%. So I've gone up one. So it was 0.1. We dropped it to 0.1 with COVID. But there was only like 0.75 before COVID. We've been low for such a long time.
Yeah, we've been low for years.
And then it was, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the 13th rise in a row.
My mortgage is on 0.25% below base. So I was paying next to nothing.
When's your fixed term run out?
It's not, it's a lifetime. It was the bank I'm with, Barclays, they mucked up. There was a 9-month window when I bought this house, and I can't swap my mortgage because it's such a good rate.
So your mortgage is not going up?
Eh?
So your mortgage isn't?
It's gone up, but I was paying next to nothing. So like,
Oh, so lifetime is always 0.25% below
base, yeah.
base of.
Was that an offset, Sarah?
No, it's just a variable, but
Okay.
yeah, when I took it out, they had meant to put a window on it, but yeah, they mucked up with a few people, and I was one of the lucky ones.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
That's pretty handy having that.
Oh yeah.
So long anyway.
Yeah. At one point, I think I was paying like 0.01% or something.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Should have smashed it in those years.
Yeah. So I can't complain really.
Yeah, it's scary how much the interest repayments go up.
I remember when they were 15%.
Oh yeah.
15%. I got my first mortgage then.
Yeah, I was playing around when we bought, looking at what it would cost with current rates, because you know it was when we only just bought, and the mortgage rates were high. they are high for what they've been for years and years and years, and then looking at like what the repayments are from a 25-year versus an 18-year mortgage. It's crazy how much like 5% each year adds onto it for the 7 years difference. Yep. Offsets over here aren't anywhere near as good as Australia.
Yeah, offsets are pretty good. I've got to admit that.
Because the offset interest rate in Australia versus offset's pretty much it's almost the same interest rate that you would get, whereas over here, not as many do offset. I guess because interest rates are so low, there was no point, so they haven't got as many products for that. So if you do want an offset, usually you're paying about 1.5% higher than what you'd do if you weren't going for offset. So it's almost wiped out, that advantage.
Yeah, I think we still get the exact same interest rate whether it's offset or not, but you get 100% offset on whatever savings you have.
Yeah. So I would have
got $1. It's $1.
We used to have a lot of those. I used to work in mortgages years ago. When interest rates were high, so we'll probably start to see them again.
So, yeah, that's what they got. The mortgage lender said that they'll probably make a comeback.
Yeah, they will.
I suppose there's that many lenders in Australia. They had to do something to make themselves look different to everyone else, and otherwise, it just makes that a little bit fairer. And in Australia, we can change interest. They changed the law so we can change mortgages like daily with no exit fees.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, they had to because everyone was getting locked in for ever and a day, and
there's so many fees over here.
Dropping, and no, that's how they made it a bit more transparent.
Yeah. Over here sucks for all that. It's like I would have gone offset if that was the case. I didn't feel comfortable spending so much at once. But then the way that all the mortgages were set up over here, and then the fees and the lock-ins, and you can't pay it off early and all that stuff. So in the end, I opted to skip the mortgage because it was just too. Just talking to them, I was just like, this is just a headache. Like you just
Would they give you a part and part, Hayden? Because then you could have kept some of the cash.
Well, I don't know. I just all the options weren't. I didn't like the options.
Yeah.
Plus, then it was like because I wasn't set on staying in this country for that long. Well,
Yeah.
for like the duration of the mortgage, it was easier just to bypass it. But
Yeah.
now, because it took up like we've gone in as cash now,
Yeah.
and so which is nice because we're not going to have any issues. But then as soon as we do that, like I took it out of my trading account, so and then my partner's side, like she put her side in, I put my side in. Happens to be as soon as we did that, now we're looking at getting a new car because of our car it's just starting to cause more and more problems. And now we're like, geez, as soon as you make one big expense, it seems to be that there's another big expense literally just around the corner.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at doing like a PCP on that, because I'm like, well, I didn't want to owe if I'm not going to be in this country. I'd rather just own. And then having a car, I don't want to just own though, because if I'm not in this country, I'm going to have to sell. So I'd rather, like, these PCPs are actually pretty decent. I don't mind them. So it's kind of the reverse. It's like you got better options for buying a car than you do for buying a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, banks don't care where they earn their interest from.
Well, we didn't have any real reaction apart from, but you see how important these levels are? Like how we're seeing a reaction to every single one. This one, 4-hour doji, 2 monthly levels, the thicker lines. Once we close inside of the range, not treating this as a level, but I'm treating this as once we broke inside, it gives us an indication where we can move to. Then look where it reacted from. 2 hour, like let me show that again on the chart down the bottom left. So it's this line at 15,809. This one, just this junction point where one candle closed, next one opens. That's that point. Then once we can get underneath there, the next level is the 1 hour. That doji high. It's actually, I think it's the 30-minute actually. 30 minutes clearer. All these wicks. That's what these zones are. And then we get to the bottom of the zone. And then the daily wick starts around here. Maybe that was the move. There was a 80, 70, 74 pip move. Not too bad. As in, like, when we were looking at typical volume, we expected it to be like 100. That's typical, that's average. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But 70 is like, at least it's hit. At least it's not a super shit day. Let's say that. But now we've got next interest news in focus will be the pound one. That'll be the biggie.
the FOMC speaker, Hayden. What he speaks? What?
Oh, Waller.
Yeah.
Jeez, he's speaking at 4 a.m. his time. Guy's doing overtime.
4 a.m. Wow.
Oh, he's in Dublin. That's why.
I thought maybe he was going to have really bad news. He just wanted to tell it when no one was going to listen.
Yeah, he's in Dublin, so they put it as orange. Sometimes they just talk about other stuff. So, so he's making opening remarks at the International Journal of Central Banking and Central Bank of Ireland conference. So sometimes these guys just talk about like, you know, they depends on like what kind of questions. I doubt he's going to answer anything that's related to inflation for this thing. It's because it's not if it's the International Journal of Central Bank like this is probably like a conference event. It's not a news event. So there's a chance that he will get asked questions that people will be hanging on, but I really doubt he'll say anything I doubt he'll say anything related to it. He's a voting member, so that is you know, maybe they'll ask like what his view is on terminal rate and stuff like that, because he would have put a dot on the dot plot chart, but I highly doubt he'll say anything. Sometimes you'll see like a Fed member speaking, and when you actually look and say like what the description is, it might be delivering a speech on the future of central banks' digital coins. And if you see something like that, it'll still come up as red flag, because the way that these are coded, we'll just see that, you know, any Fed member it could have a medium impact, but a lot of the time the topic that they're talking about is completely unrelated. So then you're not expecting it to have any effect. But good observation about it being there. Am I waiting until after UK interest rates before looking for entry? No, like I was happy to take the sell with the volume and having like no reason why price would stop. Like why would it just turn on the dime here? But I was a little bit unsteady about what would happen with this Asian session. But that was like when it pushed down from here, I secured a little bit over here. Let the runner keep on going. Now I'm not really looking to re-enter anything here. But they had so much weight coming down that these are one of the ones that when you do have like, why would we go like this is just telling you don't go against these strong candles, because when there's volume and you've got clear space for it to continue going down, if there's a 30 pip push, it's going to push that 30 pips. I wasn't sure if it would continue pushing all the way down. So it was like, I was just, remember on the, did you see study session from Monday?
Yeah, the bias that you're talking about.
Bias and expectations from a trade.
Yeah.
So like with German 40, like I'm wanting to get about 80 pips or so, 80 to 100, but I'm happy if I get 30 to 40.
Yeah, like that 40 pip range you were talking about.
Yeah, and then this one had enough in there, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, okay.
Same as then with gold. That in gold in New York, I'm looking for a 100 pip move, but I'm happy with 50. So I need to make sure that I should be able. I'm not going to try trade in a 50 pip range and hope to get that 100. I'm going to look for it to be closer to a 100 pip range where I could get a trade, but be happy with even if it just achieves half the target. So this is one of those ones that I think that one was fairly straightforward. Just the chart was telling you not to look for buys.
Yep.
And then we had like zones that we could look for reactions. But for a counter trend reaction, I want to see like a fast move of clean candles. Because once we see clean candles, we can easily refill those clean candles.
Yeah, okay.
But this one,
fast.
yeah. Like what happened with gold yesterday. I'll have a look at that in a second. Problem is when it happens in the very first minute. It sucks when it does that. But this is one of those scenarios that there's a good chance of it doing that.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. So looking at gold yesterday, I didn't take these buys, but when it moved, fast down here, move really fast down into my zone. That was when I was like, this is a super fast move. So after here, once we stopped, I did take a buy but like for 30 pips only, from like 1921 to 1924.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't hold all of them, but that was the case that everything was so bearish. But once we had a fast move, that fast move can be corrected.
Yeah, right, okay.
Wish I held it. Went 140 pips.
Yeah, that's a big retrace pullback, isn't it?
Yeah. Could like it. We drew this as well, and I was like, this here. I'll do it on this top left chart. I was saying as well, like this line, when this made the doji, this candle this doji, once it took the low, we were saying it should take the high. Just went down, and then I was like, is it actually going to do that? Is it going to take that high afterwards? And it did indeed.
Yeah, actually talks a lot about that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
About like taking the low, then taking the high.
Yeah. And that's why we hesitated taking those sells initially, because when this candle, I think it was this one here. When this one here opened, that was the 2 o'clock open, 9 a.m. open.
Yeah.
Okay, and it hadn't created the top wick. So looking to take sells, but only once the wick had made a top wick on the 4 hour candle, because the 4 hour candle opened and just dropped. So we knew the 4 hour candle would make a top wick at some stage. The price came down, didn't be fooled by this break. Price came up. This one made the top wick. And
then we had that big impulsive drop.
Yeah, this here made like a little push up. This one here made another little push up, and we actually entertained the buys, just thinking it was like potentially going to go up to here or to here, and then be able to take the sell. So it was the whole bias was sells only, and then thought would be fancy and just take like a quick little buy move to sell, so buy to sell.
Yep.
And then missed the big sell.
Yeah, okay.
Because it was like switched, not switched bias at all, but like took a trade against the bias, which then blinds you from taking the trade in your direction. Because you're cheering the trade on and trying to push it to get to your target, but then you miss signs that this is it. And then this was literally a 1 minute candle that just did the majority of that work. Then price pushed down perfectly to this zone. I think Eddie was in this one. think Eddie got take profit 1920.06 or something.
Yep.
So same sort of thing here. The volume for German 40 was pushing down. Okay, everything's very heavy. Now this point here, if there is ever going to be a clean move, it's in a day like this.
Yeah, okay.
Push straight down 30 pips from under here to this line. Secure. Let the runner do some of the work for you, and then we know German does pullbacks. So now we're pulling back.
I took that long again.
Oh yeah, go for which line?
Just at the bottom there. That yeah, just as the breakout of here. Yeah.
Good one.
Only a tiny little lot because I'm going against the trend.
Now we can at least retest 1908, 15908.
Is the target the 50% of the Frankfurt candle?
Yeah, and Aussie's got a nice double bottom.
I would say at least it should hit that 15908.
Gold's going up, GU's going up.
Yeah. It's been a nice session actually. For what I was expecting. I was almost thinking, I'll just do New York. Glad we didn't. Because German was choppy yesterday. Took a deep pullback. Tried to get in. Yeah, no, didn't try. I did at the 50%. That one had my stop loss literally just here. So got in here and then got in also about here. It was on this one or was on this one? I think it was this one. So close this one here for pretty much break even. And this one here just took so long. It took so long that I closed, I think I was on this one, that I closed this lower entry and I closed majority of this one and then left my stop loss, brought my stop loss to here and just let the rest run. I think target, my target was 16086, which hit just before New York, and then it's just dropped. It's a bit annoying. The previous day, I didn't trade that day. That was when I had to drive the car back. This one I think was fairly straightforward. Price broke down, came back up, tested the halfway as it usually does. Taking the entry from there gives you like a 3 to 1. 2.5 to 3 to 1. So it's been some good moves on German.
Yeah, I had that when it retested the London high yesterday. I had that marked
Here.
as a maybe entry.
Oh, sorry, this is Tuesday.
Then,
this one here.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
And then State of Origin started. And I forgot to put the trade on.
What started?
And then State of Origin.
Oh yeah.
The 40,
yeah.
And then so New South Wales got pumped. And
yeah,
then
they did.
Went down. Went crap, and I missed that trade. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to watch that game in 2 pieces yesterday. Because I had the workshop on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Timed the dinner break for the first half, and then caught the second half. I was just like, man, they just played like crap.
Oh, yeah. It was just yeah. I don't know what's more disappointing, watching the footy or missing that trade.
Yeah.
Missing the trade, hands down.
Yeah.
You got to be used to Origin not going your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think someone said we've lost 14 of the last 17. So yeah, I probably should have been expecting the loss.
Yeah.
You got to play the odds, mate.
Yeah.
my entire uni career, New South Wales never won a single Origin.
Nah.
It was like, went to uni for 6 years, and then it was what 8 straight Queensland wins. It just became used to my friend's dad, who like we used to like all supported the Blues. His dad turns up in a Queensland jersey one year. He's like, I'm sick of losing. he actually switched. Then he moved to Queensland. Oh, okay. He's full on New South Wales. He's from Canberra, but now he supports Queensland.
You gotta love a winner.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this one's done. Gold is trapped in this 1930 range. 1927, 1930. Gold's just been such a lame duck in this London Open time for such a long time now, hasn't it? It's almost worth playing the range on it. What else we have? Pound Aussie.
Pound Aussie double bottom retest.
Down here.
We've just retested that one now.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to keep on flying, especially when this news comes out. Alrighty, well, I think I'm at the end here. It's 9 o'clock. I think we've done our dash with German. Now it's just...
See you in New York.
Sorry?
See you in New York.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. Well, take care, guys. Take care. I'll trade safe. I'll any questions, just pop them in the Discord. Okay, I'll get to them.
Catch you all later.
Alrighty.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Thanks, Ed, and see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Right.